Welcome to the DSO Hygienist Podcast. This podcast is for everyone in the DSO space. Whether you're a hygienist, dentist, assistant, or leader, we're here to bring you expert insights, real-world strategies, and conversations to help you thrive. I'm your host, Christine Deal, and together we'll explore how to elevate patient care, grow professionally, and navigate the ever-evolving world of DSOs. Let's get started. Atia Black is the Director of Business Development at the Dental Assisting National Board. She holds a Bachelor of Science and a Women in Leadership certificate and brings over 20 years of experience across clinical practice, operations, and business development in dentistry. Atia has gone on to hold leadership roles in administration, management, and business development at dental software organizations, including Dental Intelligence, and most recently, Method Procurement Technologies. In those roles, she built a proven track record in sales, securing dental software contracts with national organizations to implement practical solutions across multi-location practices. Buying a dental practice? Here's what no one tells you. It's not just about the numbers. It's about the people. And if you lose them, you lose trust, culture, and production. That's where the DSO team transition comes in. We help you stabilize your staff, align systems, and retain your top talent, so your new practice runs smoothly from day one. Smooth transitions, stronger teams, real results. Visit DSOteamtransition.com and download your free transition checklist today. I'd like to welcome Atia to the show today. Welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Happy to be here with you.
I am so glad to have you today because I really would like to talk about assisting and, how hygienists and assistants kind of work together. So I'm just going to get started with the questions. A little background. You started as a chairside in high school, and you've worked in nearly every role in the dental practice. So how do those early clinical and operational experiences shape how you lead today?
That's a really great question, Christine. And, for my role here at the Dental Assisting National Board, obviously having the experience and being in the seat that the workforce we are servicing has been in helps me understand the the challenges that they're seeing as well as the support that they need. So knowing how to help them has allowed me in the organization to lead the other team members towards what will be meaningful and impactful for dental assistants. And additionally, having the knowledge validates that we are on the right track and we're doing the things that will help dental assistants to grow within their role and within dentistry.
So what motivated your transition from practice-based roles into the dental technology and business development? And how did that change how you viewed DSOs?
When I got to a point working in the dental practice that I felt like I wanted more, I decided to go back to school and wanted to be a hygienist. That's naturally often the next step for a dental assistant. But as I started back into schooling, I very quickly realized I loved the business side of dentistry and not so much the hygiene side. Now, they're all important, but for me, like the data and the business of dentistry was very exciting. So I then pivoted my education and got my bachelor's in business instead of hygiene. And so it was just a natural transition as I was in the dental practice. I wanted more, and it just became my passion to really dive into the business side of dentistry. So when I got down that road, I found the dental analytics technology at Dental Intelligence. And it was very exciting to me because understanding where you're at in your goals and how to use data to know how to get there just made sense in my brain. And using the data to be able to train and understand what needs to happen literally on a daily basis to find the success in the practice was I mean, that just got me so excited. And then in DSOs, that's something that is repeatable. It's something that they can implement into an organization and know that they're looking at apples to apples in all the different locations. So for me, it really was a transition, a very natural transition. However, it had a lot of ups and downs as life does. And you go down one path and think, maybe that one's not where I want to be. And so then you pivot and, I found my way through that. But seeing the data and how DSOs use the data to guide their organizations is has been really impactful for me.
So, in your view, what makes dental assistants so essential to the success of the practice? And why do you see them as the backbone of the care team?
Dental assistants really are the backbone. And DANB did some research on, what do dental assistants actually do in the practice? And we found that there's over 200 tasks that a dental assistant does. There is no way the practice can run without a dental assistant. So they cross collaborate with the front office, with the dentist, with the hygienist, and then back up to the front office to help patients from start to finish in their appointment. And so having dental assistants that can work collaboratively with the care team is really key. Having them understand the beginning to the end of the appointment makes it as smooth as possible for the patient, on top of working well with the dentist to get that restorative treatment completed in a timely manner. Often the patients are looking at a dental assistant after the doctor leaves and going, what do I really need? So they need to understand restorative treatment on top of maybe there's periodontal that the doctor found that they need to see the hygienist for, scaling and root planing, full mouth debridement for a full assessment. And they look at that dental assistant and want to know, what do I really need? And that dental assistant needs to know all of the things to answer their questions, on top of setting up the room, cleaning up the room, taking the x-rays, any type of additional emotional needs that the patient has. So as the backbone of the practice, dental assistants really help the practice run as smoothly as possible. And having a good dental assistant can make all the difference.
I totally agree. They are. I love every dental assistant I've ever worked with. So, how do you see dental assistants and hygienists evolving together as practices face staffing shortages, increased patient demand, and all the new technology?
This is something that's a pretty hot topic in the space, and I'm happy to answer with my experience. And Christine, maybe this is a fun conversation here because you're a hygienist and I'm a dental assistant, and there, like I said, this is a hot topic. Um, I like to start with, this hot topic. We all have differences of opinions, so I like to start with, where are we not different? Where are the similarities? We know, so here's the the truth in the data. We know we have access to care issues, and that's no surprise. And we know that there's a lack of hygienists and a lack of dental assistants. So how can we work together to really collaborate and find what makes the most sense for the patients? I know that there's a lot of issues with doing no harm. And I 100% agree with that. But I'm interested in your feedback here, Christine. So, as a dental assistant with 15 years clinical experience, and saw what hygienists would do in starting down that road for my hygiene degree. As a dental assistant, I feel like with the proper education, I could take very good care of a healthy patient in whatever parameter that made sense. And so I know that there's feelings here, and I would love to see dental assistants, hygienists, doctors all come to one table and discuss where are the similarities in what we believe, where's the data, and how do we like bridge that gap? Because that's really what we need. That's really what's important here. And in my opinion, that's where that code of ethics comes in do no harm. If we don't come to a solution, we are harming our patients because they can't be seen. And we know with that oral systemic connection, if they are not being taken care of, their overall health is going to be affected. And so that's where I see it and how we can potentially collaborate and work together to do more and better dentistry to help the overall oral health of America today. I would like your opinion on this.
I agree. I think dental assistants are smart. To be honest with you, one of the assistants I work with, I think she could basically do dentistry, honestly. So I do think that there is room for growth in both professions, assistants and hygienists. And I think that you're right. Accessing each of our professions to the up degree is really where we need to go and where we need to focus. So I'm open to what our new models may look like. But I agree, we
Yeah,
all kind of need to get to the table and discuss it.
yeah. And, practicing at the top of our scope is what helps move our profession along. And in whatever that looks like, like I'm not suggesting dental assistants become anything more than what they're capable and trained to do. And that right there is the key, that they need to be trained, have proper education and experience in whatever they do. So that in and of itself is a whole other conversation. But like you said, coming to the table will be important in whatever that looks like moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. I do think there's some room for growth in both professions. So we'll see
Yeah.
where that goes in the future. So, can you explain the dental assisting professional model and why it's important for creating clarity, growth, pathways, consistency across the profession?
The dental assisting professional model was created by a work group with dental stakeholders that came together to create a model that is consistent for what dental assistants could potentially be doing. It has three different levels in it based on the experience, knowledge, and education that a dental assistant has. And it was created to bring clarity to the profession itself because the different states have so many different ideas and tasks that dental assistants are allowed to complete. It makes it very inconsistent and hard for a dental assistant to really understand what they would be doing or what they should be doing. So the professional model was created to kind of build a framework of what the industry believes a dental assistant would be doing at those three different levels. Now, the entry level dental assistant, obviously, there's different pathways to that. There could be an education model for that. There's also on the job training. And in order to make sure that we're, following that standard, they would need to agrees that there should be some type of education check in the different levels to ensure that each dental assistant has the proper education, knowledge, and skills to be practicing in those different levels. It's a very exciting model. I have had the opportunity to work within that model, and it gets me very excited to show up to work every day because it is helping shape the vision of dental assisting in the future. And like you said, what does that look like? And so DANB has endorsed the model, and there is a link on our website to the model. So if anyone's interested in finding out more what that looks like and what the details are of that model, please reach out to me to learn more because it is very exciting. We've been able to share it with some of the key stakeholders within the industry, DSOs. We've shared it with several DSOs. There's some specific DSOs that have endorsed the model. Aspen is one of them. So it's an exciting project that I've been able to work on, and it's going to help move the dental assisting profession towards the future. And I would love to share it with anyone who's interested in seeing it.
So, because each state does allow different duties, how does that impact the profession? Because obviously, like you said, Aspen is endorsing this, but Aspen has Illinois, New York, Michigan, like all the
Mhm.
different states. So how are you able to get kind of more of a uniform national?
Well, that's kind of the idea behind it is if someone were to adopt this framework for their organization as a DSO, they can be confident knowing I am making sure that we've got a standard of care that's going to take the best care of our patients. It's going to be compliant within the state levels, and we're going to bring qualified team members into our organization that will feel empowered to do their best every day. It's going to build the culture itself as far as dental assisting, and also give the dental assistants pathways instead of coming into this career and feeling like I mean I'm at the top of what I can do. It gives them a pathway to continue to grow instead of leaving the industry and finding something else to do because they want that professional growth. So DSOs are adopting this model within their organizations to be able to give career pathways to their dental assistants. And it's a framework of what that would be and how to make that happen.
Yeah, I don't think people realize. I mean, there is a lot of opportunity within DSOs to, and further your career. And I think that's one of the great things about them. So I'm going to switch a little gears here because I know you're very involved in mentoring women in the dental industry and in DSOs. So, what have you learned through mentorship and why does it matter so much, especially for women in like leadership positions?
We know that the best way to learn something is to teach it. And for me, that's very true, as I've had the opportunity to mentor in the DSO space. I feel my growth happen and continue to, network in the space that also helps and continue to grow in ways that are meaningful for the industry itself. So being able to mentor other women helps your relationships, it helps your professional growth, it helps your personal growth, and overall it just makes you feel better about life and yourself. That to me is something I'm really passionate about. I have absolutely loved my experience with mentoring and stayed very close in touch with some of my mentees that we've worked with. In fact, it's become a very collaborative relationship back and forth. We, will call and talk to each other or share things that we have happening and, within our careers. And it's been rewarding to see the growth in the in the mentees, but also to notice the growth personally and what I have been able to achieve by teaching them.
I love that. That's so great. Thank you so much for giving back because I think that's so important. And anybody out there, if you can get into a mentor mentee type of relationship, I really, really say you should do it because it's beneficial, like you said, to both the mentor and the mentee. So, one more thing I want to ask you is you made a major life move to Chicago that changed pretty much your career trajectory. What advice would you give other dental professionals considering a bold career or life change?
I tend to be somebody who says jump in with both feet. We get one life. And if we don't experience that life, we're going to have regrets. And so when that career change opportunity came to me, of course, it wasn't an easy decision, but in the end, do it. If it is something that you really feel strongly about, the passion and drive inside you will push you to success. It's just making that decision to do it and have the confidence that you're completely capable of figuring it out. You might not have all the answers, but you're completely confident in figuring it out as you go. Find someone who can help guide you. That was a huge key for success for me is find a mentor, somebody who can help guide you. Like I said, and I not only mentor, I also am a mentee, and I've found people who have helped me, and that was one big aspect to the success is finding someone who can help guide me through that process that's also done it. So do it. Just do it.
Well, thanks so much for talking to us today. I really appreciate it. So, if any listeners want to get a hold of you, how can they contact you?
My email is A as an apple, black like the color, at DANB, DANB, like the Dental Assisting National Board.org. So A Black at danb.org. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Atia Black. Request to get connected. I would send me a message. I love to talk dentistry. I joke that that's my biggest nerdiness is that I'm a dental nerd. So please reach out to me. I'd love to get connected and continue to help dentistry grow.
Thanks again for being on the DSO Hygienist today.
Christine, thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to the DSO Hygienist podcast. Please follow or subscribe to be alerted of new episodes.